And good morning and welcome to Touch Base Daily. My name is Ron Foster and here is Mr. Chris here with Mr. Chris. Good morning. It used to be called Thankful Thursday, but now it's called Trend Watch Thursday.
Okay. Okay. I hear you.
So we are at Trend Watch Thursday and we are still thankful. We are still thankful
Yes.
on our Thankful Thursday. Is part of our Trend Watch Thursdays, but definitely changed it up because we were like, you know, I think we talk a whole lot about politics and about world affairs and what's going on around the world, what's trending, what's happening, and so therefore, I wanted to go where the subject title represented what we do. But we definitely do Thankful Thursday. What's going on, Chris? What's going on? I see you with your
Nothing.
safe space take two. What's going
Yeah.
on?
I
Tell
don't
us about what's go- tell us about what
I figured I would
tell us
support the
about
new
it.
logos. So I'm excited. Yes, last night the Take Two premiered on the Indie Soup Media Network. I was very happy about that. It went off without a hitch. There was a little glitch in one section with the audio, but I don't know what that was. So we'll take it as it is.
It
But
was
I'm
just a
excited.
little section, just a little
Yeah,
bit. It went out.
yeah,
Wait,
yeah,
what happened to Chris? Where's the
yeah.
sound?
You didn't hear me, but you heard the
I heard
response.
him.
So at least
Yeah.
you got what the question was. Um, but yeah, super excited about that. So it's out in the world. I am just finishing the last few edits on the last episode for season one, and then Safe Space is going to premiere tomorrow night at 8 p.m. on the Indie Soup network, and then the promos for that will drop at midnight tonight and then tomorrow morning. So you'll get a clip, and then tomorrow's episode, the premiere episode, um, I am the guest. I'm going to tell my story and my journey. I figured, if I'm going to ask people to come on and tell their stories, it would not be fair if I was not willing to do the same. So I tell my story tomorrow for the premiere episode.
Well, that was some interview yesterday on your first episode, and I was like, I remember when you interviewed him on your Instagram page, and but he has grown I know, I mean, he's doing some
Yeah,
major things.
because I interviewed him, I believe it was at the end of 2022. He didn't have the YouTube channel.
No.
All he was doing was Instagram. Of course, he had previously been on Bravo on one of the reality shows over there, the matchmaking shows. And he had some other. He was, he's a therapist and he's done some other things. But adding that YouTube component really kind of like took him into another level.
Mhm.
And now he travels with it. Basically, he does live shows and he's constantly being asked to go to a lot of different events in different cities. So Lamont's he's doing his thing, and I love the fact that I've been able to kind of document a little bit and introduce people to him. So go and follow him. If you have not seen last night's episode, go to Indie Soup Media YouTube page, and it is there for you to watch. It's about 42 minutes long, not too long. I try to keep all the shows within that range, 40 to 45 minutes, so they're digestible. It's not too long, and they're really great conversations. I don't look at them as interviews. I really believe there's a conversation between me and
Yes,
the person
yes.
I'm speaking with. So yeah,
I am all about the conversation. I finally get to do the thing I like to do, is talk.
yeah,
So, um, yeah, let's say good morning to some folks. I see all the folks. My son is in the building. Mr. Adrian Florence is in the building. I know he's getting ready for pastoral duties tomorrow. Not tomorrow, but Sunday. Sunday is an Easter weekend. Gwendolyn's in the house. Lisa's in the house. Eliza's in the house. Kimmy's in the house. Anthony Rowland's in the house. Derek Toggle's in the house. Everybody's here. So there's a lot in the news this week, guys. For we news junkies, I think this week I was on what's called overdose. It was
yes,
like a junkie on overdose. I felt like I was having all kinds of spasms, and it was this was one of those weeks between our time here. I mean, just the weekend and Saturday. Well, we do this every Thursday. So between last Thursday and this Thursday, now we're here. so much freaking stuff has happened in the news. It's just, where do we begin? Where do we begin?
I can pick a point.
Pick a point, Chris.
So let's start with Ronna Daniels,
Holy moly.
and her whole NBC drama, because I believe it was announced late last week that NBC
It was right after we got off
hired
the
her.
air. Right after we got off the air Thursday.
Yeah, they announced that they had hired her to be a on-screen contributor, excuse me, and they had given her a salary of $300,000. Now, there's a reason why NBC wants to have people that are on quote unquote the left to have a more balanced
You mean the right.
opinion.
On the right and the
on
left.
the right,
Yeah.
excuse me, sorry, on the right, to have more balanced opinions and just to kind of give both sides of view, especially in a election year. They chose the wrong person. Everyone at NBC, all of the on-air talent at NBC and especially on MSNBC came out against her on TV. This was not hush hush behind the scenes where things get leaked out. They went on air, and it started with Chuck Todd during the Sunday show, and basically said this was the wrong thing to do. They need to reverse course and basically fire her. And it started with Chuck Todd, and it ended Monday night with Rachel Maddow. I mean, just, I don't want to say eviscerating her, but like basically saying there's no reason for her to be on the air. NBC got it wrong, and that they guarantee you that she will never be on MSNBC's air.
Yeah.
And between Sunday and Monday night, I believe it was Tuesday night, they reversed course and they fired her. Basically the saying, we've made an error in judgment. Unfortunately, it was so public. And you know, here's the thing. People on the right, the extreme right, will say, "Oh, there is censorship. What happens to freedom of the press?" It's one thing to have someone who is Republican, who's on the right, coming on and expressing their views and their viewpoints and their political strategies and backgrounds. But it's one thing to hire someone who is still actively an election denier on the air, spreading lies. And then here's the thing. One thing that they said, she's a chameleon. She will basically fit in.
She will morph into wherever she can be to fit the audience. And she was, first of all, when the news came out, I mean, we had just finished our Touch Base Daily last week. And I said, it's impossible. I cannot believe this. I cannot believe it. And she is absolutely horrible.
Deplorable.
Horrible. I love the word horrible. It's one of those words that sounds exactly what it is. Horrible. Just, I mean, there's something wrong with people that can see truth in front of them and then yet deny it, yet create an alternate reality.
But here's the thing, and this is what I think was the thing that made it stand out for everyone. When she was on, what was it? Was it Sunday when she was interviewed? And she said,
I saw the interview, Meet the Press.
And they asked her, so what about, denying the election and stuff like that? She was like, well, I was the head, so I had to go along. Now that I'm not there, I can speak more freely. I'm like, no, you do not put your party in front of your country. And then also, what does that say about you? That means that whoever hires you, you say whatever they want you to say because they're paying you.
Yes.
I mean, that's what that boiled down to.
Man, I was, like I said, this weekend was news overload. And then, so you get Sunday, I'm watching Meet the Press. I'm watching all of the, for we news junkies, it's all about Meet the Press. It's George Stephanopoulos. It's all, it's the news on. Then you go over to CNN. Then you go over to. So I do a lot of different platforms on my Sundays. It's where I gather all my information. But then on Monday, when the appellate court or the Court of Appeals reversed or lowered Trump's bond from
Yeah.
646 million to 175 without any reason.
See, now my
Without
thing is,
any reason.
why are you changing the rules for him? If it was anybody else, they would still have to put up that judgment amount that they owed. It's not fair that, he bitched and complained, oh, I can't come up with all that money. No, so what? I mean, he eventually is going to have to come up with it anyway. So why are you changing the rules for him?
But what was also crazy is that he said on his platform that he had the money.
That.
So he said he had the money
on multiple occasions. Oh, I'm rich.
I have the
got
money. I just don't want to use the money. And yet they still lowered it, not even half.
60%.
Which is crazy.
There's a set of rules for us, a set of rules for the rich, and then there's a separate rule just for Donald Trump.
It is. I was boiling. I know I shouldn't be boiling, but I mean, there's just, think of it, and like a lot of commentators were saying, think about all of the people in the world like couldn't pay their rent or paying the bond for their son to be out on bail meant not going, not paying the rent for that month or not getting food on the table because they want to be able to pay for the bond so that maybe that loved one cannot be put in jail.
Yeah.
And then you get this guy who's a criminal on every freaking level. Everywhere you turn, this guy is a criminal. And then you lower the bond. That would not happen to you. That wouldn't happen for me. That wouldn't happen for any of us. Need I say regular folks?
Nope. They don't throw us in jail. But hold on. Now, on top of that, after it gets lowered, he goes out in front of the cameras and say, "Oh, I will gladly pay this, and I'll get it done swiftly."
But not only that, and this is the other part. Not only did they lower it to 175 million, they gave him an extra 10 days.
Yeah, it's not due till the 4th of April, next week, Thursday.
I say and you wonder why there are people in our society that have no respect for the judicial system.
Yeah, things like this. It's clearly
the mockery
leaning to help the wealthy or the ultra wealthy.
I see Ali says our judicial system is corrupt. Let's see here. Kimmy says lawyers finding ways to yeah, well, this was even the lawyers. This was the appellate court. This was just the court saying, you know what, we're going to help you out. And what was even more insane, that lawyers and judges were talking about all Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, is that they gave no reason. They gave no, there's usually a reasoning that they give for lowering. They say, okay, we're going to lower because of this. They did it with no reasoning and nothing, no mentions of why they did it. I am done with Trump. I cannot. It just is. It's like he shows us. There's a pro and cons to this whole thing. Is that he shows our country who we are.
Yeah.
He exposes us for who we are as the United States of America.
Yeah, I think Trump he's pulled the curtain back. It's like the Wizard of Oz. He's pulled the curtain back, and now everyone can see what America really is.
And now we totally have lost. People have lost respect for this country on such a level because of Trump. I'll never forget when Trump he won the elections, and I had just arrived in South Africa, and in that December, and folks will come up to me and say, "Oh, how did you feel about Trump being the president? He's going to be president of the United States." I say, we will never be the same again.
Nope.
We'll never be the same. But here we go. Speaking of Easter, it's Easter. Now, the last time I checked,
Oh God,
A
we're going
Bible,
there.
you can
Jeez.
get a Bible for free. I mean, you really could just go online and say Bible, free Bibles. As a matter of fact, you can go to many churches and get a free Bible. And you can get an updated Bible, not in the King James version. You can get one in several versions. You can get a Bible for free.
Sir. I mean, when I saw this, I was like, that is it. We have descended into cuckoo land. I thought we were there before, but now
Cuckoo
we are on a whole
land.
nother level. This man is hawking Bibles and he is branding the Trump Bible. The man doesn't even know what the Bible looks like. He's held it upside down in public. When asked, what's his favorite verses? Oh, all of it, all of it. Yeah, I just love the
Oh, they can't
Bible.
they, they,
All of
they
it.
can't pinpoint anything with him. They say, so what's your favorite scripture?
He doesn't know.
It's too many to tell you.
He's never read a verse in the Bible. I don't think he's ever opened a Bible on his own and read anything. He it's it's so disgusting on so many levels. It like when they say it makes your blood boil, like I can feel my heart, my blood pressure like rising. If I take my measurement right now, it'll be like calm down.
He
It's
said,
it's
I need a drink.
it's
I need
oh my
I
God,
need a
yes.
hit.
Couple shots of hard
Anthony
liquor.
says 2 Corinthians. Yes, 2 Corinthians.
Ugh.
Liz Cheney told him he needs to read. What verse was that? I think it was the verse on adultery. She said,
But hold on.
uh,
It's not even much that he's selling these Bibles was for $56 or $59. I think
$60,
it's 50 bucks.
59.99
Okay, $60.
plus
He's
shipping
quote
and
unquote
handling.
putting the we the people in there, the Constitution, and he has something else in there. And it's just like, are you for real? And people
Mm.
are he has the same people that are donating their life savings to him are going to go and buy these Bibles.
When you can buy one for free, you can get the Constitution for free. Just go
It's
online.
ridiculous. It's
Just go
ridiculous.
online.
It's ridiculous. So I guess the shoes weren't enough. He's not making enough money on the gold sneakers. So you know what? Let's sell some Bibles. Why
Let's
not?
sell some Bibles. I mean, if you talk about
Oh,
being a
and
grifter, he
he
is the king of grifting. A
he's
grifter
basically
to the
labeled himself a god. And oh, this is my Bible. You want to get it for $60.
oh man. It
Sir, you can't even write this stuff because if you wrote it, they would be like, no,
if you wrote this for a movie, they would say no, that no one will ever believe it.
we are living in crazy time. And I'm just speechless. I really am speechless. Because I mean, what I'm afraid to ask what else could he do that's even more deplorable, but
Oh, it's just gonna get worse. It's just going to get worse because he's desperate. I mean, it was interesting that I mean, I thought I knew, but I did not know like for certain that he has not spent $1 on his
no,
campaign.
nope. It's all money that was raised
Yeah.
from other people. But yeah, still when he came down the escalator, he said, oh, I would never spend, take any money from anyone
I
because
can
I'm
take care
rich
of this
and I
all by
can
myself.
yeah, I mean, and look at him. He hasn't spent a dime. A dime. Let me tell you something. Trump is always one when he tells you something about someone else, he's projecting.
Always. He's always projecting. But one thing about Trump, he will tell you what he's going to do. He's
Yeah,
always telling you what he's going to do and what he is doing.
yeah,
Derek says Satan sells Bible. Yes,
yes.
you lied, right? That to me, read
But you know
all
what?
about it.
I don't even think Satan wants to be associated with him.
Good morning, Trish. Trish says good morning. But
Morning.
it is the insanity. The insanity is just. I just couldn't believe it yesterday. I was like, "You got to be
And the
kidding!"
people around him are eating
But
it
they
up.
love it.
Like,
They love him. This is the thing. Marco Rubio
Marco
was on.
Rubio.
He was on George Stephanopoulos on this weekend,
Sunday.
and they were asking questions, and you sit there and you say, "How could you be Spanish?" I don't understand. I still don't understand the mind. My neighbor was telling me today. She treated me to breakfast, and we had such a great time. And she says one of her boys was a Trump supporter, and she says the other brother was just like, "I'm done. I'm just done." She says, "Oh, he's your brother, even though he's a little effed up."
He's destroying family. No, he's
I was
destroying
like,
families, and that's a true thing.
but the thing is, I was like, how is it possible that Black people, Asian people, Spanish people of any sort, of any kind, women, how could any of those classifications of people in America be following this buffoon? Really?
Mental health is a real thing.
It's like,
No,
how is it
seriously.
possible that there's so much? I don't even know if I should call it self-hate, people hate. I don't know what is it. I don't know what that is.
Self-loathing, mental health, some type of disorder, chemical imbalance, whatever you want to call it. It just does not make any sense.
Yeah. And then to top it all again, Truth Social goes public yesterday. Or was it no, sorry, it was Wednesday. What day is it? It's
Well, I think
Tuesday.
yesterday was the first full day of
Yes, it was
trading.
the first full day of Truth
And the
Social.
valuation now, quote unquote, he's worth what, $8 billion?
Well,
But yet, so he's not. They're losing money every day.
the platform is losing money every day. The
But the
platform is
valuation,
tiny. It doesn't have it doesn't have any advertisers. The
no,
platform is over evaluated, and the only way this stock is staying up to where it is, I mean, the stock went up.
people are
It went up to
shorting it.
$57 a share, and was holding up is a gentleman from Susquehanna who's an option trader. I remember when I was at the stock exchange, and Susquehanna used to be on the trading floor of the American Stock Exchange. And I never knew that. I never knew who the owner was, or maybe I ran into the owner and didn't know. But he is. They were talking about on the Financial Channel. He's not what you call a ordinary, what you want to call investor, and a lot of Trump supporters are boosting up this stock. And so now what they're saying is that there is probably going to be an investigation on because they're calling it in some arenas this is a Ponzi scheme,
Hello, yes.
because what they're doing is they're pushing it up. There's people in the market pushing it up, and then it's obviously going to go bust. I remember when
Well, they're shorting it, aren't they?
well, a lot of folks were shorting it, and they're not doing good. You know why? Because the stock went up. You only do good when the stock falls. So what people are doing, they say the insiders are pushing it up, and then they will short it because it's not going to stay up. It is impossible for this stock to stay up. Is not worth the evaluations that are there. It has nothing. It has no volume. It has no advertisers. It's small in comparison to any other social media platform. Adrian, my son, is from Wall Street as well. He's really the Wall Street dude. I was just hanging out on Wall Street, but my son is a Wall Street dude. Long-term pump and dump, just right. Exactly, sir. Exactly. And they push it up. I remember the company I used to work for, when we went public, they did the same thing. They pumped it up. They pumped the stock up. They pumped it up because they wanted it to look good. They wanted it to look good on paper. That stock never ever returned to those numbers again.
I mean, they're doing this in broad daylight. Everyone knows that it's not profitable. It's actually losing money every single day. I think have a user base of like 100,000 people or something like that, which is
Only
nothing.
90. There's only 90,000 people.
Okay, when you compare it to like Threads or Instagram or Facebook, you're looking at hundreds of millions of people on those platforms, and they don't even have an evaluation of that,
Yeah,
which is
it is.
it's crazy.
It is insane.
And on top of it, even though it's valued at quote unquote 8 billion, even if he was to sell, he can't profit off of it for 6 months. So
But
that's
he
not going
can't
to help
sell it.
him.
He can't sell it for 6
Right.
months
Right.
unless he
It's
gets
not
a
helping him in
special
any way.
clearance. Yeah, he cannot sell his investment in the company. I do believe he owns 60% of the company.
Yeah.
He cannot sell it because also here's the other thing is that they also know this is why people are selling shorts is that when he bails out of the company, the stock will immediately crash.
Yeah. The other thing though
It's
too
a
is I think the
Ponzi
reason
game, y'all. It's a game. It's a
part of the
game.
reason why they went public was because he couldn't sell it to anyone. It's been on sale for about a year or so, and no one would buy it. So they figured, let's do this.
Pump
It's
and dump.
crazy.
I love that phrase. Thanks, son. Little Adrian says
Pump and
long
dump.
term pump and dump on long. Wish we could just never mind. Anyway, good news. The market was up yesterday, says Trish. On a good news. But also, hey, Bryson is in the building. What's going on, Bryson is in the building. Jimmy Kimmel. Oh, Lisa says Jimmy Kimmel had a segment asking his supporters the same question that immigrants have to answer to become citizens. They knew nothing. Oh yeah,
Of course
I
they
saw
did.
that segment. It was horrible, absolutely horrible. The rerun was yesterday, I think it was. But yeah, it was definitely it's crazy town. So here's
Yeah.
another headline. Now this is more serious. The Trump stuff is now out of our system. Just got it out of the way. I'll just throw one more in, just as in the polls of this morning are saying. Oops, let me get that up there. Polls today say 60% of women voters support Biden and 35% are backing Trump. I don't know who these pollers are. I don't know who these people are asking. Who is home answering the phone? We don't know.
Not
But
me.
anyway, 60% of women voters support Biden. We'll see. We will see. We will see. So if you did not have an opportunity to check out the readout, it's a great segment on what is it? Ostracizing single women inside the Heritage Foundation and Project 2025 plan to strip women's rights. It is very good, and so we have decided. Well, I've decided. Trump, I know. Chris is with me on this. Is that we are going to keep sharing about Project 25 as much as we can because, folks, please, if you can read it, if you get a chance, if you haven't already. Now, no one's saying go read the whole manual. Even though the manual is available to you, it's free. Just go online, put in Project 2025, and you can download exactly what the game plan is for the conservative movement. I don't want to even say this is the Trump movement because it's not his movement. It's the conservative movement sponsored by the Heritage Foundation. So let's please educate yourself. And if you and can I give you guys a little homework for all the people that have not seen The Handmaid's Tales?
Yes. I think if people watch this, they would understand what we're talking about even better.
If
It's
you
such
watch
a
The
great
Handmaid's
indicator.
Tale, yes, you would understand what Project 2025 looks like. Just saying. If you took the time to look at the series, now it's rough. The Handmaid's Tales. When I first started, one of my friends recommended me to, recommended the series to me. I was like, oh, this is heavy. This is some heavy television. But guess what? It is necessary. I have never seen a series more necessary to see than The Handmaid's Tales.
Yeah.
If you want to know where the Republicans, or I should say the conservative movement in this country under the Heritage Foundation went to take this country, you
Look
dive
no
into that
further.
theory. Look no
Look
further.
no further.
Look no further. I see here, and she says with Elise, yes, I spoke about women's rights and Project 2025 on the podcast a few weeks ago. Yes, Miss G she definitely talks about it. Can we?
I'm here. I'm here.
Here, let's see. Yes, Elise is with us on this, and Elise, Elise, maybe what we can do on some of these Fridays and Thursdays is that, I know you are really studying up on this. You are like in the books and learning. That maybe we'll have you come on for some bits and kind of each week maybe give us a little something that not as a discovery, but just another little section you can share with us, because Project 2025 is real, and they are already implementing a lot of these things that they are doing. Changing, they want to change the name of no mention of abortion in America. It will be called something to life. I mean, there's a long list of that's it, part of this game plan. And so folks, we got to get for all of our relatives that are saying they're not going to vote, or they're voting for Trump. Now, some of them have far gone. They're just not. When you're in a cult, the worst thing you can tell someone that's in a cult is that they're in a cult. They can't process it. And so for a lot of our loved ones that are following the Trump world, and like my neighbor, she was talking about her son. Yeah,
They're gone.
Yeah, a lot of them are just gone. I hate to say it like that. It sounds so hopeless, right? Oh, they're just gone.
Rest in peace.
But we really have to help. But a lot of people in our circles are still on the fence. They still don't know which. Some don't know what to do. Even I don't understand how they could be on the fence when you recognize that democracy is on the line. Just like this crazy Robert, what's his name? Mr. Kennedy trying to steal votes or whatever he's trying to do. And it's a mess. It's a mess. And anyone that is running in 2024 other than Trump and Biden, they are so self-absorbed. They have no idea about saving this country. They just don't care. They're so self-absorbed.
That third party candidate, Kennedy, his vice president's pick. The reason why he picked her is because she has money.
She has money.
That's the only reason.
Yeah.
She has no political past.
Anthony says, don't forget about the win in Alabama. Maryland lands won a House seat running heavily on women's reproductive rights. There's hope, but we have to continue to fight. Yeah, this is also mentioned in the readout. If you did not see the readout last night, go check out the readout with Joy Reid on MSNBC. It is worth watching. And they definitely brought this, that she won in a sea of red. And so the thought now this morning and Wednesday morning is that telling Democrats, don't give up on the South. There's a possibility that you could win on women's health rights, women's reproductive rights, because they were just mentioned on MSNBC today on Morning Joe that how a 13-year-old was raped and it was forced by the state to have the child. So it's just, anyone in their right mind knows what side of history they should be, right?
My question is to the state now, knowing that this 13-year-old that was raped, that does not want this child, is the state going to take care of the child for the rest of his life? Well, until he turns 18, they turn 18?
Oh, no. They got rid of, and also the same people that want you to that want this young lady to have the child after being raped, the same people are against pre-K care, pre-K learning, and all the educational benefits that they want to give young people. So it's like these folks are crazy. But
Yeah.
it has, again, we always say it has nothing. This overturning of Roe versus Wade has nothing to do with abortion. I mean, it is abortion,
About
but
control.
it's cloaked. It's about control because it was the doorstop for others. Like now they're trying to get rid of, birth control pills, where they're trying to get rid of different types of marriages. They want to get rid of, all the things. It's the first time in American history that rights have been taken away.
Yeah.
And now they know they can do it.
Yep.
That's what this is all about. Taking away rights of individual people in this country that are not, they're not
Who
white
are not
men.
white and male.
That's right. That's it. And women,
Who are the minority in this country.
white
Let's
men are the
call it what
minority.
it is.
Yes, they are.
They are the minority.
Um,
So wait, hold on. I want to pivot a little bit. I don't know if finish with the comments and then we can pivot.
yeah, Trish says we are going backwards, America. I see here in Anthony says the polls lean heavily on pro-choice. Indeed, indeed. I think if the Democrats want to really run on women's health care. Women's health care. This is about women's health care. Yeah. What else is in here? Who else? See, Bryson's in here. I think Elise says something in here. She says, I need Alabama to keep that energy, and it needs to spread across the South.
Yeah.
It's about control, like Elise says. It's about control and the fear of white people not being in the majority. But that train has left the station. White people will no longer. Well, first of all, can we just all just say it? I mean, this is a global trend.
Yeah.
Because white people are a minority in the world. It's not, we are not the minority. We may be the minority in America, but we are not the minority in the world. Most of the world is people of color.
Yeah.
Most of the world is people of color. And that's the
That is
fear.
the only reason for all of this. I mean, because they are afraid that they will completely lose power, and they are already the minority. But I don't know. But anyway, so I want to pivot a little bit.
Go ahead, buddy.
I know you probably talked about this briefly earlier in the week when this happened, but I wanted to talk about the bridge collapse in Maryland.
Oh, yeah.
Such a tragic story. It seems like it was truly just an accident.
It was an accident.
That cargo ship lost complete power. Everyone that was on board that ship, the captain and all his people, did all the right things, called for Mayday. I think they were the ones, along with the people that they called on land to say, hey, we've lost power, clear the bridge. They were able to get most of the people off the bridge. The people that lost their lives were the workers that were actually doing work, like filling potholes on that bridge. And condolences go out to those 6 gentlemen. They found 2 of them yesterday in their pickup truck. They believe they've located the other vehicle or 2 other vehicles, but they can't get to them right now. So there's a couple different things going on. Also, it's come to their attention that there were hazardous materials on that ship, and they're in the water, and there's signs of like sheen on the water. So now that it's probably an environmental disaster for that area. And the other despicable thing about this is that after this happened, far right-winged Republicans went on and said this accident was because of DEI. How deplorable are you? These people have no conscience. They have no morals. I mean, it is just disgusting. How
Well,
you
how
can
is it
look at
real?
this
I mean, the
tragedy where
relationship is
people
crazy.
have died, and the first thing you say, not condolences, but oh, this is because of DEI.
Right. And it, not
Shame
only that, they
on
said it's
you.
because of Biden and his DEI. Shame.
Unbelievable. And these are immigrants that have all died. Some of them are from Guatemala, and they're doing jobs that people, Americans don't want to do. They're, contributing towards their family, they're contributing towards a country. And you, instead of, offering your condolences to their families, you're saying the reason why this happened is because of Biden, the Democrats, and
And
DEI
DEI.
politics. Shame on you. They said the same thing about when the door flew off that United Airlines plane. Had nothing to do with it. And then the fact that it was because it was a
You mean
black
the
pilot
was that
flying.
Frontier? I think it was Frontier. It was a
Oh, I
Boeing,
don't.
the
Okay, yeah,
Boeing
Frontier.
airplane.
But they said because it was a black woman pilot flying the plane, she landed that plane safely
Yes.
in the midst of a decompression of the cabin, the door flying off, which had nothing to do with the pilot and the airlines. It was strictly a Boeing's issue.
Mm. It is
Deplorable.
the insanity continues on the right. Like I said, these are people that they are just so far gone. And speaking of DEI, we're gonna go there, and then we're gonna close out on DEI, on the note of DEI. And but that was absolutely deplorable. Like Anthony said, shameless and pathetic.
Yeah.
And I would not be surprised if the no good Congress will not put the money to rebuild that bridge.
Yep. And Biden already said that the federal government is going to flip the entire bill to rebuild that bridge.
But he may not get the money.
I know.
And
I know, because he doesn't hold the purse
I
strings.
can almost see it now. One is it's a black governor,
And a black mayor,
a black mayor,
young mayor.
and Baltimore is, that area. Most of the people that work in those plants that are around there, the factories in that area, the people of color.
Yeah.
But most of all, they've already given you a clue automatically coming out the gate, talking about is Biden and the
It wasn't even a
DEI
day
is the cause.
fresh. They literally got on camera on Fox and saying these things. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
You mean a DEI mayor? Adrian says, well, look, diversity, equality is important. And we need diversity. Instead of trying to destroy DEI, you would think the country would embrace it, because you would think these folks from this Christian white Christian nationalist background. And again, when I have to make sure I'm specifically saying, when I say Christian, is Christian nationalist. That is a big difference from Christianity.
Yeah.
Let me make sure folks understand that this is not. These are not Christians. They wear the title of Christian white nationalist.
The other thing to mention is that that term Christian nationals, it's not a new term. It's something from decades ago, and it has very negative meaning behind it. So people need to understand when they're using that, it's not what you think it is. It has deeper meaning.
Yeah, and it's also part of where the KKK roots came from, Christian nationalists. Anyway, that's a long history. It's another whole history lesson on that one. But DEI, just to mention about that. Let me see what some of your comments are first before we go there. I am ignorant in this manner, but could have dropped an anchor to stop the barge. No, they could. The reason why the admiral from the Navy was one of the spokespeople that was on MSNBC yesterday. He said they didn't have enough time. It happened so fast that even if they would have dropped the anchor, it would not have given them the results that they needed. They had already lost control of the container.
Right.
Um,
And the other thing too to note is most times the anchor is in the front, they said, and then when you do that, when a ship doesn't have any steering control, the ship can just kind of sway in different directions, and they didn't know what that would do. There was literally, I think, from the time they had the Mayday to when it happened, it was like 30 or 40 seconds.
yeah,
So it wasn't a lot of time, and they're hailing everyone that was on the crew, and then the people on the shore
yeah.
was saving even more lives because they were able to stop cars from going on that on that bridge. And the other thing too, we have to say thank God for is that this happened at 1:30 in the morning, because if it had happened during the day, early morning during rush
Oh
hour,
man,
hundreds of cars go over that bridge any particular moment. I've
moment.
been on that bridge. The funny,
That's a
the
scary
odd thing
bridge.
is,
That's a
yeah,
scary bridge.
I I've been on that. My mom called me that morning, was like, "Was that the bridge you went over?" Because I was coming from DC back to Delaware, and that is one of the bridges I can take, but that's not the one I normally take. So it's, and when you look at it from a distance, it's very pretty, but it's a very dainty bridge.
It's
You
a
know what I mean?
dainty
These
bridge,
little
and
point
the
connections that they
incline is
have.
high. It has a
Yeah,
high incline. That's a scary bridge. Let me tell you. Well, now they're gonna have to rebuild a new one, which they'll build one bigger and better, I'm sure.
yeah.
On the DEI, this is what happened this week also. Just so you guys know, Alabama has joined the growing list of states passing laws banning diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives in public institutions. They are joining the ranks of more than 30 states have introduced bills banning or limiting DEI initiatives during their current legislative session. Also, on this point of DEI, go guys, you can go into this and look it up and kind of become more familiar with what's going on in this sector of our society. Not only that, but corporations are also eliminating DEI and DEI in their ranks as well. It's happening across the country, across all levels of our society. Which is really crazy because after George Floyd and the protest, it was a big thing. Everyone wants DEI. Everyone wants DEI. Everyone wants to fit in. They want to create commercials. They want people of color. They want Black love and all that other stuff. As usual, there's always a backlash. Anytime Obama was put into office, backlash, the Tea Party. Reconstruction after the Civil War, backlash, the Ku Klux Klan. So anytime there's progression in Black progress
Progress.
and people of color moving forward, there is always a backlash. Always.
Yep. Why do you think Trump became president?
There
That
would be
was the
no Trump
biggest.
if there was no Obama.
Absolutely.
Ali says Tennessee is voting today on vacating the TSU board. Yeah, this is real. I keep telling folks, if you are asleep here and you don't understand what they're doing, there's a reason why they're banning books. There's a reason why they're getting rid of DEI. They are eliminating people of color on all levels. Not only color, education. Educated. They do not want an educated society.
Nope.
Education means you'll rise up. Education means that you will fight against the foes.
It is. I just can't believe this is actually happening in 2024. Like it.
Yeah, it was unimaginable, but it's here and it's on our doorstep. And we are the generation. We are at the point of history that are either going to make this country a more democratic, a more a country of democracy, or we're going to let it go and become an autocracy ran by few, the rich and the elite, And then on that, the uneducated that follow them. The uneducated that follow them. So, guys, we are at the cusp. We are on the threshold of, will we have a country? So here we go. And Ali says, hey, Dr. Tachi's in the building. What's going on, Dr. Tachi?
Hey, Dr. Tachi.
Ali says, they don't want a society educated with the true history in this country. They don't.
Yeah.
And it says, and again, this is not the majority. This is a minority that wants to control the majority. Just like that's what apartheid was about. The minority controlling the majority. And it's always about that. You look around history. Again, I always mention every time I have this conversation with my friends and my little friendship powwows, Hitler did not become Hitler because of the majority. It was the minority that rose up and put him in place and gave him his power. But it was the majority that slept. That's how he got his power. The majority did not stand up. Right? So you got to stand up. We got to vote. We got to educate our family members. We got to educate everyone around us about what's going on. Chris, last word.
Keep your eyes open, people. They're doing everything out in the open. It is up to you to know what is going on, keep yourself educated, and also to vote. Vote, on the national level, vote on the local level.
Keep voting, guys. There is no election too little. My neighbor was in the elevator yesterday and I said, oh, you went, because she had a little badge on, a little sticker. I said, you went to vote? I said, I can't vote today. I want to vote. She goes, why can't you vote? I said, I'm an independent. And in New York, only Democrats and Republicans can vote. So I said, I can't vote. I want to vote. But guys, I was so happy to see her going out to vote. So let's vote. Lisa says, in the future, the workers on the bridge should have walkie-talkies to get the message, to get the heck out of there. Those workers had no idea. Yeah. Okay, guys. Just so you know, a couple of announcements real quick. I see everyone's in the building. Do not leave. Do not leave until you hear these announcements, because this Saturday we will be a Touch Base Daily meetup for the Gordon Parks Born Black exhibition on the West Side. You can go to our Touch Base Daily channel. It is in there. The links are in there, so you can go there, or you can just scan this little QR code that's up over there, and you can scan that, and it will give you the information as well. We're going to be meeting at the gallery, checking out the Gordon Parks' beautiful works, and just having conversation and getting to know one another. So come on out on Saturday, and then if you are around on Sunday is Easter.
Yes.
Easter Sunday. Happy Easter to all the Christians in the building that are celebrating Easter. So that will be there. But I will be at the in front of St. Patrick's Cathedral in that area. A bunch of photographers. It is a photographers festival. We're going to be photographing the Easter bonnet parade. There's no better place to be than at the Easter bonnet parade. I know my Christian friends have probably said, Ron, it's gone off. But believe it or not, even when I was busy in church, when I used to be a youth director and all the other stuff that I used to do at church, I never went to church. I very rarely went to church on Easter. I used to say, make room for the ain'ts, because like the saints don't need to be there. The ain'ts need to be there. So make room. So, but I never believed in going to church on Easter. Just me, just my thing. I like to leave space for other folks that probably need to go. But I will be out at on Fifth Avenue There's going to be an amazing bonnets and people laughing. It is one of the most beautiful parades in New York City. And it's not literally a parade. It's just people walking around, connecting, getting to know each other. And so much fun. I see here. Thank you, ladies. HBD. Happy Easter, everybody. Okay, I see all that good stuff in there. Kimmy says, Ron, are we seeing public discussions with Black organizations, Black churches spreading what is going on? I don't see any news about this. Oh, you know what? Let me star that, and I'm going to get back to you. Also, on that, before I go up, I'm going to leave you in 1 minute because I have to get off on time because this gets replayed on Indie Soup Media. So make sure you check out Indie Soup Media, which is led by our wonderful Dr. Tachi. So this will be on repeat at 4 o'clock. So check that out. And so I have to make sure this ends exactly on. I'd like to leave about 3 minutes off so she can have time to do what she needs to do.
30 seconds, sir. Wrap it up.
30 seconds, right? So, guys, anyway, I am out of here. We'll talk more. But if you have any ideas for discussion, please let us know. Please put it in my box. I would love to hear from you. So let us know what topics we could talk about on this platform, especially on our Trend Thursdays. Okay, guys, we're out of here. It's so good to see you all, and we're gone.